Once upon a time, it was a brand new year. And I thought to myself, what better of a way to bring in a new year than wearing a ridiculous purple jacket? Buckle up. Hey everybody, welcome back to BellTube. I just really want to say thank you to everybody who's participated in the channel for the last about 7, almost 8 weeks now since our inception. It's been fantastic. We're going to talk a little bit about the growth of the channel today. We're going to talk a little bit about what I did in December, what I plan to do in January, and of course the BellTube community is along for the ride and hopefully participating in some of it as well. In the month of December, we shot 10 videos here at BellTube, and you guys watched a lot of them. We managed to pick up 825 subscribers since we started about 7.5 weeks ago, which is really great. We're going to be around that 1,000 mark, I suspect, in the next couple of weeks or so, maybe even sooner if we luck out. As I've mentioned, it's not the most critical thing for me to get to 1,000 subscribers. My main goal is to upload 50 videos and to make them each a little bit better along the way. So while one of my videos may do fantastic, in my brain, it's just video number 16. I think once we get to about video number 51, then we're really going to be talking. So yeah, the number system is kind of where I'm at goals-wise, mostly in terms of just uploading decent and entertaining and valuable content. Because again, that is the goal here at BellTube, is to provide you value. It might be entertainment value, it might be book value in terms of my experience on it or my reviews on it. It might just be some of the one for the road segments that we do at the end. Whatever it is, I want you to walk away feeling good that you clicked on the thumbnail. If you haven't yet already subscribed to the channel and you're thinking about it, you're pondering it, should I not? Will I not? Just do it. Come on. You know it's just as easy to hit the unsubscribe button as it is the subscribe button. Give me a chance. Give the BellTube community a chance. Subscribe for a month. See if you like the content. If you don't, I give you full permission to unsubscribe with a gigantic sledgehammer, and you don't ever have to come back here again, but I hope that's not the case. So please do like these videos. It does help the search and discover program. That's what YouTube calls it. The search and discover program. And it'll get us to where we want to go a little bit faster. So if you could do that, that would be amazing. One thing I wanted to ask the community about today is, what do you think about the lighting? I like it because you can see me, you can see the bookshelves. There's not a lot of placement lighting behind me. Actually, there's none. And you'll see that in some other channels where there'll be a little bit of an LED color going on. I'm not so sure that would work great here, but I am interested in your comments if you think that would be something visually appealing, if you think it'd be something you'd like me to try. We can always try it, we can always get rid of it. But again, I wanted to ask the community before I started making significant changes to the set design. Another thing that I'm thinking about doing over the next month or so is adding a second camera. I'm not so sure it's necessary, but I think in some regard, it's kind of fun and visually appealing to get a couple of different angled look at the video. I've seen some people do it. I know most people don't really do it, and I'm not sure BookTube is exactly the place for it in the first place, but let me know in the comments. Would a second camera work? Would a third camera work? Do you want me to fill this entire room with cameras and just go from camera 1 to camera 50? You know I'd probably do it. Okay, cool. Let's talk about what I read in December. December was my probably slowest reading month I've had in years. The main reason being I spent a lot of time working on learning how to edit videos, learning how to shoot videos, and really trying to understand what BookTube is all about. I read 4 books in the month of December. That's pretty much a record low. I will give myself a caveat. One of the books was Howling Dark by Christopher Rocchio. That book is super dense and it took me 2 weeks to read. So about half the month was devoted to it. I really look forward to reading Demon in White in February after we get through our January TBR. Another book I read was Eric Carter Book 9. It's called Cult Classic. It was just okay. I rated it 3.5 stars. For me, I have read better Eric Carter books, so it was just okay. Moving on from there, I read Rendezvous with Rama by Arthur C. Clarke. That book was fantastic. As I'd mentioned in a prior video, he wrote this book about 20 years after he wrote Childhood's End. And wow, I was reading the whole thing. I ended up giving it 4 stars, by the way. I was reading the whole thing and it was just kind of okay and whatever, and it's cool. It's a relatively short book. But by the time I got to the last page, and specifically on the last page, I put the book down and I was like, damn you, Arthur C. Clarke, you did it to me again. He just really leaves you thinking, and I really do recommend A Rendezvous with Rama quite a bit if you like classic science fiction. And in this particular case, as I've mentioned, he does focus more on individual characters than traditional sci-fi, which is mostly about ideas. It's not great character work, but there's some character work. So I would definitely give it a shot if you've not read it. And of course, the other book that I read and listened to rather on Audible this month was Dungeon Crawler Carl 6. It doesn't disappoint. Jeff Hayes and Sound Booth Theater really set the highest bar possible, in my opinion, for Audible. The book was fantastic. If you want to hear more of my thoughts on the whole Dungeon Crawler Carl series, I'll do something more later in January about Lit RPG, I'm sure. So let's start talking about January, because January is a month that I'm a little bit apprehensive of, but I'm going into it full force. Of course, I'm talking about the BellTube DNF Challenge for January, where we've taken a bunch of books that other great booktubers recommended to me that they DNF'd when I asked them, hey, give me a book that you didn't finish, that you probably aren't going to, and if you do, it's not going to be anytime soon, and let me take that burden. I'll read it and I'll tell the BellTube community all about it. Now, when it comes to I can't believe it. He said he wasn't going to. Yeah, hello. Did not finish, DNF. No one's talking about you not finishing. DNF. I don't even. What is GRRMDFJ? What? YM? You left it under my chair. Of course you did. George R.R. Martin does finish. Just ask your mom. Okay, I think we're done here. Yeah. I'll call you later. Bye. Sorry. So speaking of the DNF challenge, why am I doing a DNF challenge, you might ask?
For I am Costanza, Lord of the Idiots.
I'm doing it because it seemed different. I like doing different things. And I know if you're like me and you subscribe to lots of different amazing booktube channels, you have a hard time figuring out which one to watch. When I go and look at my YouTube playlist, there's got to be 30 or 40 booktubers every single week, if not more, that I have to figure out, all right, which one am I going to watch here? Which one am I going to watch there? I don't really like scrubbing through the videos, meaning fast forwarding through them. I want to watch all of it. So what I'm trying to do here with this DNF challenge, not only make a challenge for myself, but also to do something that I don't believe has ever been done on BookTube before. And that's kind of a theme of what BellTube is really all about. Let's take BookTube to some degree, keep what's amazing, and turn some stuff on its ear. Let's keep it interesting. Books are our hobby. It's got to be fun. And when it comes to fun, I want BellTube to be your #1 choice for just insane, nonsensical, book-related good times. So where are we starting with January? Well, today's January 1st, and I'm starting with the most difficult book, at least difficult sounding book on my January list, and that is The Worm Ouroboros that Dr. Philip Chase recommended to me as his DNF offer. I haven't started it yet. I looked at the first paragraph. I looked at how many pages there are. It's about 450 pages. I'm going to try to get this done this week. I'm going into the month with the most difficult one first. At least I think it's the most difficult one, but I'll let you guys know for sure. Now, on Audible, true confession, I did not yet finish Cradle No. 9 Reaper on Audible. I'm going to try to listen to the rest of it today and tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, I'm going to start The Three Body Problem on Audible, which was the DNF book that Mike from Mike's Book Review suggested. Of all the books on my DNF challenge list, that's the one I'm most optimistic about because it was already on my TBR. And while Mike and I align on about 95 to 98%, it's really ridiculous how well we align on our book tastes. There is some space that we don't. And I'm really hoping that The Three Body Problem falls into that 5% space where I enjoy a book that maybe he didn't as much. Also on January, the BellTube community is out representing. I've been asked to appear on a few channels. I'm going to be on Tori Talks on her Motley Crue get-together program. I'm really excited for that. We're still picking a date, but it will happen in January. On January 11th, Dan from the Black and Blue Reader has asked me to appear on the very first episode of his live stream in his live chats, so I'm going to be doing that. By the way, shout out to the Beard of Darkness, whose channel I appeared on back in December. It was an amazing interview. We talked for an hour and a half. If you've got some time on your hands, I really suggest you head over to his channel and check out that interview. We had a blast. There's just some people in life that you get to know and you get to like them right away. And Matt, aka the Beard of Darkness, is about 20 years younger than I am, but I feel a lot of my old self in him. And it makes me happy to talk to the guy. So definitely go check that interview out if you haven't yet. Also on January 13th, which falls on a Saturday, I've been invited to appear on Matt on Books channel, and he's put together a group of 4 of us that I think is going to make for some pretty fun TV. We are talking about myself, representing you guys, the BellTube community, Matt from Matt on Books, Alan from the Library of Alexandria, I probably said that wrong, I'm sure he'll correct me, in Latin, and Jimmy Nuts. It's going to be a heck of a conversation. I'm really looking forward to it. Do you guys think I'm going to get a word in edgewise? Better yet, do you think Matt will get a word in edgewise? We're going to find out. These guys are right up my alley. I subscribe to all 3 of their channels already. If you haven't, definitely go do it. So between the worm Ouroboros and the 3-body problem, I think that's probably going to take up this full first week of January. It might even bleed a little bit into the second week, but I've spaced out these DNF challenge books. And by the way, if you don't know what these DNF challenge books that I'm talking about are, go back into the BellTube catalog. Season 1, yep, we're still in Season 1, you guys. You have plenty of time to catch up on your BellTube season. And it'll talk about all the books that I got from all the amazing booktubers. There's 7 of them. And it's going to explain more about what I'm reading this month in January. So what are you guys reading to start the year off with? Leave it in the comments, kind of what you're thinking about. Want to talk about for the One for the Road segment today, small goals. Now, we get into a new year, and a lot of it is New Year's resolutions time. When I was in the bar business, the first 2 or 3 weeks of January was the worst for us because everybody had very lofty goals. They were going to quit smoking. They were going to quit drinking. They were going to go to the gym every day. They were going to start eating right. And by week 3, all of a sudden, all of those people, and then some, who had left the bar for a couple of weeks were back in droves. And I think part of the reason is because people set goals that are very, very lofty, and they're not very good about chunking them into manageable pieces. So my challenge for you today is beyond your long-term and beyond your medium-term goals, set some tiny goals, like literally basic goals that will take you 5 to 10 minutes to do. If you do that, you're going to start stacking some momentum. If they stack so much, you start to get a higher degree of self-confidence. And when you have self-confidence, I promise you, the world can be your oyster should you choose it to be. That's what we've got. I'm excited for January, you guys. Regardless of the January DNF challenge, it's going to be a banner month. I'm glad you are all here, part of it. I'm so thankful for the BellTube community. And here's your fortune.